So before we went off on the costing tangent, we were doing, we had posted in what we were consuming for this batch, so I can see exactly what I posted that's going into the batch. On my finished goods, I haven't posted any finished goods yet. Here, I once again have 4 columns. Ordered is the initial. Remaining is the one that's doing the math for me. Completed is what I already sent to my ERP system. And when I get to now means this is what I want to send to GPS. So I was expecting to make 100, but I really only made 95. As soon as I key that 95, my issue now for these 2 bomb items filled in for me. That's because I have backflushing turned on in this system, because I don't have to count my boxes or bags. I just assume that we backflush the right number. If you don't want that to happen, then we don't have to turn on backflushing. So it's up to you. But when backflushing's on, as soon as you key complete now, it'll fill in issue now for both of these. That means when you post, you're going to be posting a positive inventory transaction here and negative inventory transactions. If we have labor on this batch, labor's under these additional costs, and I think we set some up this morning. Since backflushing is turned on, it filled in these issue now quantities for me. I could overkey them, I could zero them out. If I didn't want them put in there at all, I could turn off backflushing. So maybe I really want to post 2.2 hours. The formula labor shows up here, which apparently I didn't have any formula labor on that one. So when I post this time, I'm going to post my finished good, my bomb, and my labor. And I can once again control the date before I do it until
So you posted 95. So that is it going to still stay open? Or will it still stay open because you have a balance?
Stay open.
Yeah,
the batch itself is open because that's a separate field.
Staying released and not go to ops close, I guess.
It doesn't automatically ops close.
What if you did the full 100?
It doesn't ops close.
So that is a step you've got to. Okay.
Yep, switching it to ops close is a step you do when you say, I am done with this batch.
Okay. I didn't know if you complete it and posting it would automatically close.
It's an intentional separate step.
Okay.
What happens differently between backflushing on and backflushing off? I'm not sure.
Backflush. Oh, okay. When I keyed, originally I keyed 95 in complete now, like even now, if I key, I'll just put 1 in there now. Watch this issue now column.
Okay.
It fills in for me. If backflushing is off, it doesn't fill in for me. It stays at 0.
Okay.
And well, it stays at a 0, and I would manually come in and key that I consumed 1 or 20 or 3 or whatever it is. So it's generally a matter of, do you want it to just assume the default quantity, or do you want to key in the actual quantity? For the procedures section, it's more exact, but for bomb, a lot of times, like I said, the bomb items in particular, people are more willing to assume that it used the right quantity.
So they have backflushing off in their case.
So they have backflushing on if they're assuming, if they're okay with assuming the quantity.
Well, on is
If you're lot tracking your finished goods, your lot number goes in right here before you post. It'll send that lot number to your ERP system.
So what if you have, you made 105? Do you have to resize the batch, or do you just key in 105 and it automatically?
Okay.
Are you over 100%?
Well, keep in mind, I think I had yield, I think, on this batch. I had a lot of effort on this batch to begin with. And so perhaps this time I didn't have as much loss as I typically thought. Okay, so I thought I was gonna make 100, and I managed to get 102 out of it. All right. I can post 102 here. The total 102. At the moment, I posted 95 already, though. So you can post 102, and you don't have to resize the batch if you got that 102 out of this quantity that you were originally expecting. So I put these in. I kind of thought I was going to get 100, but I got 102 out of it. There's no need to resize the batch.
But you couldn't go over what theoretically you could make if you had 0
Oh,
scrap.
technically, you could, yeah.
You could?
Say you make 1,000. Yeah. Now, there is a way to put a threshold in here, so it would at least bing you and
So
let
it
you
wouldn't be
know
a
that
key
it's
error or
key.
something?
Yeah, there is a threshold setting that it would warn you that.
Hey, that
of
seems odd.
things that
Yeah.
big. Yeah.
So what's the purpose of if you had 100 and you only did 95? What would be this in leaving that 100 out there? I mean, not changing the order.
If you wanted to later do reporting statistics of, I was expecting to make 100, but I only got 95. Particularly if you already have yields set up in your system. So keep in mind, I already bulked all these raw materials up so that I should have been able to make 100. I put 105 or whatever, 1 pounds, you know. I put like 105 pounds in, I was expecting to get 100 out. I've already accounted for loss, and yet I still had 5 more. So either I had something go wrong on this production run, or my yield is totally wrong, and it needs to be an 80% yield instead of 90% yield or something like that. So it allows me to start seeing things like that, that, you know, I should be yielding pretty close to my number.
Or you keyed in the wrong
Or
quantity
I
on
do.
the ingredients.
Yeah, or I did something really strange. Never have, okay. What else is there? Okay. End items, procedures, okay. Transaction section, I briefly showed you. This does show you a record of your transaction. If you're a V2 person that isn't really playing in V4 yet, the thing that you will like is when you're integrated with an ERP system, it actually shows you the document number. So it'll show you the SL batch number. It will show you the GP doc number. I'm not integrated, it's not showing me anything. So that wasn't available in V2. So this transaction section is new for V4. It actually is very helpful. It's a cool place to go look. It's also a place that you'd be able to look and see lot numbers. So if your item is lot tracked, you'd be able to expand this little check box and see lot numbers underneath it and see exactly what went in.
Do you have to be integrated through an ERP system, or like for our, we might be specific, we're using it for a lab setting.
Mm-hmm.
So we have our own inventory that's coming into our lab that we need to manage.
In order to do the lots, you would have to be integrated to a system that has the lot, because we don't really have lots in Vicinity. We're looking at the ERP for the lots. The additional costs I showed you, so that's where you would put in your labor totals. This total section is very expanded from what we had in V2. V2 basically had the top 2 lines, but for V4, it goes on quite a bit. You can start seeing your costing information as it goes into and out of the batch. A lot of this was actually modeled after a Dymatize report from one of your costing reports that we were like, oh, that's pretty cool. So we'll start putting this information on the screen instead of having it run a report. Other information, you can do the planner and the process cell. There are a couple other fields down here. Shift and supervisor are what these are labeled on here. There are 4 attribute fields. And I can label them right here. Okay. Whatever you want them to be, and so these batch attributes go on the batch entry screen itself in that other section. That's why I currently have a shift in the supervisor field, and you may very well not in your system. We can also add some additional columns for batch end items. So If I say that as attribute 1, and close batch entry. When I come into batch entry again, in my end item section, I should have an attribute 1. I mean, if I closed all the way out, it would come back in for me. And so I can add 4 additional columns on the end item section. And name them whatever I want them to be.
Are they just a text field?
Yes. Yeah, they're like a 50-character text field.
Can that information be used in reporting in any way? Like,
Yes. Yeah, wherever you want it for reporting. If you've got data in the system, we can pull it. I'm used to letting y'all out early. I have more I can do. Y'all are probably tired.